How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this painting tutorial. In this video we're going to look at how to paint Horus Heresy Sons of Horus. This is the legion that turned out to be the Black Legion in the 40k universe, and they're one of my favorite ones. This is my interpretation, this is the color scheme that I came up with, and I hope you like it. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and stay after the video to learn how you can support my channel. I'm going to start with a black base with Rust-Oleum primer, and you can use any primer that you like. I would recommend going with black because we want a dark green, but you can use whichever primer you prefer. I'm going to start with Incubi Darkness, and this is going to be a layer over the armor of the model, and I'm going to use a flat brush, and with this I'm just going to cover the whole miniature with this color. Make sure to water down the color a little bit just to not use it straight out of the pot, and start coating the model with this color. If it doesn't cover too well, you can do a couple coats, but this is just an underlayer for the Kabalite green so that it covers well, because the next one, which is Kabalite green, and I'm going to do the same thing, is more transparent color, and we need a base to paint it over. The idea is to get a good coat of Kabalite green over the armor area of the model without taking much of the details, so we're trying to thin down our paints and do it as evenly as possible. And I'm a huge fan of using a flat brush for base coating large areas like this. Next, I'm going to use Coelia Greenshade, and with this color I'm going to pin wash all of the crevices on the model. You can use straight wash over the whole model, but I'm liking this method a little bit better now, which is just washing the places that are in between the crevices, and then you can clean up afterwards. And it's a little bit easier with light tones, but with darker tones you can get deeper shadows if you shade in the whole model. So you can do it whichever you like. Me personally, I'm liking this method a little bit better, and I think it's quicker and I think it's easier, but whichever you like. Next, I'm going back with the Kabalite green, and with this color I'm just cleaning up the model, making sure that the color is where it should be and the crevices are dark. This is just a cleanup to prepare the model for the next step, and making sure the model looks clean and well painted. Next step is going to be an edge highlight with Sybarite green, and this is a easy step. It's a little bit of a jump from one green to another, but it looks pretty good on darker models to have very bright highlights. And I'm using a little bit of drying retarder to help the paint stay wet for longer, and using the edge of the brush and just freehanding where you can't use the edge of the brush, and just trying to get all of the edges of the model. If you paint a little bit too much, you can push the highlight back to the edge with a little bit of Kabalite green. Just try to push it back, and that's it. Next, I'm going to mix Sybarite green with White Scar to pretty much 1:1 ratio, and with this color I'm just going to pick the sharpest edges of the armor just to give it an extra pop with a very bright highlight. The Sybarite green is pretty high value by itself, it's very bright, so you don't need a lot of White Scar to make it even lighter. So make sure to use this color only on places on the edges where it catches light, so that it doesn't look too overwhelming. Just do a little bit, and if you think it's a little bit too much, you can use a little bit Sybarite green to push it back if you want. Once that's done, you're done with the armor. We're going to move on to the silver and black, and we are going to base coat both of them with Abbadon black. This is just a good base for Leadbelcher, and it's going to serve as a base for the black. And this is a very easy step. Just thin it down a little bit and use a medium brush to just paint over these places. After that's done, I'm going to use Leadbelcher to base coat all of the metallic areas. I'm using a medium brush and a little bit of drying retarder to help me with the paint. And I'm just painting all of these places very basically, being very careful not to paint on the green. And if you mess up, you can clean up as always, but try to make it carefully so that you don't have to spend any extra time. Next, I'm going to use Baltasar gold, and with this color I'm going to base coat the brass areas, or gold areas if you prefer. I decided to go for a more brassy look for this color scheme, which is going to turn out to be the Alpha Legion. So it's either brass or gold if you prefer, but I'm going with this color over the trim of the shoulder pads. Next, I'm going to use Agrax Earthshade to shade in the colors that we just painted, which is the silver parts and the gold. And this is just to give them shadows and make them a little more deeper, give them more depth. This is very easy. Just apply a moderate amount of shade into this part just to get the crevices a little bit of shading, and that's it. Next, I'm going to start highlighting the silver with Iron Breaker. And for the exhaust on the backpack, I just like to dry brush a little bit on top and then get all of the edges with a fine detail brush. I find this easier, I find this very effective. Instead of trying to layer the color, was just edge highlighting, and places where they're round and they need a little highlight, just dry brush it very lightly, and that's it. Next, I'm going to use Eshin Gray to start highlighting the black. This is a very subtle highlight, but it's a very necessary one, because if you start to highlight with the next one, which is Dawnstone, without any previous highlighting, it looks very contrasting, the black with the next color. So you need this color as sort of a glow or a transition between one and the other. And this is just going on the edges of the bolter and the places on the backpack and the knee pad that I decided to be black. After that's done, I'm just hitting the most sharpest edges of the black with Dawnstone, and that's it. Next, I'm going to use Sycorax bronze, and with this color I'm just going to edge highlight the brass areas around the model. This is just specifically an edge highlight. I want the shaded Baltasar gold to look very dark, and just the edges look like the Sycorax bronze. This method of doing brass looks a lot more darker than a yellowy gold, and I think it looks pretty cool. Next, I'm going to use corn red on the eyes as a base coat. We're almost finished with this model. Just be careful not to get it onto the green. If you do, you can use Incubi darkness to push it back. Next, Evil Sun Scarlet is going to cover the full front half of the lens. And then I'm going to use Fire Dragon Bright as a very bright orange, just to give it a fiery glow to the eyes, to the very tip front part of the lens. And to finish it up, I'm going to use white scar, and with this color I'm just going to put a little dot on the back part of the lens to simulate kind of a reflection and finish the lens effect on the ice. And this is the finished model. I like this color scheme a lot. I did a little bit of research and tried to find out a good color scheme for the Horus Heresy models, but they vary a lot, so I went with the just straight Kabalite green and black and brass color scheme, and I think it looks pretty cool. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it entertaining and helpful, and if you like it, don't forget to like the video, comment on it, and share it around with your friends. And subscribe to the channel to watch more videos of mine. I'm going to be going over more Horus Heresy color schemes and trying to decide which one I would like to paint for my own Betrayal at Cult starter set. Become a patron if you can, and leave comments on the comment section below to let me know which color scheme you would like me to do next. I already have some of them in mind which I'm going to try out, but let me know what you would like to see. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. You stayed. Great. Thank you very much for watching my video, and if you would like to further support my channel, you can become my Patreon on Patreon. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, and you are helping me create more and better content. If you can't, that's fine, because you're helping my channel a lot just for watching and sharing, but you can read all of the details if you follow the link in the description below. I hope you can spare $1 to make this hobby of mine a job for which I can get paid. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.